Welcome to Cody in the Cinema. I am getting ready to go to the beach, getting everything packed, and of course we had to rewatch Jaws here with his awesome Film Vault copy. And the question kind of came up on this rewatch, to what extent is this like science fiction, you know? How much of the shark is like, how much mythology, fantasy, how much of that's being injected in there? And it kind of made me think like, I haven't really done a science fiction Criterion Collection video, so I pulled 3 right off my shelf here, including one I just watched and really enjoyed, that I think are good recommendations. And the first one is David Cronenberg's masterful Scanners. He plunges us into one of his most terrifying and thrilling sci-fi worlds, according to the back here. And you've got this nice green image. I think these like lime green looking covers are nice in the collection, but basically there's this science fictional element that there are people called scanners who can use psychic powers, and I'll sort of leave that for you to decide what that means and not to spoil the plot too much. But one of them ends up working with this company to potentially get rid of another dangerous scanner, and there's all this like corporate espionage and foul play, and there are explosions. There's a really good head explosion, as you can see here. It's very famous. And I really thought that the film was the acting is so robotic that it works in the film's favor, because it almost makes everyone seem like a robot. It almost makes everyone seem like they're going through the motions until there's scanning involved. And then you hear these like terrifically awful noises. I think Howard Shore did the soundtrack for this, the Lord of the Rings composer, and that really helps drive the science fiction feeling and that feeling of dread and nausea. I would not necessarily watch this if you were like sick, because it's going to like intrinsically be headache inducing, I think, in that context. But yeah, I was really surprised how much I like Scanners. I don't know why. I love David Cronenberg, but I'd heard mixed things about it. I think it's a terrific film and release from them. Like I said, unless you don't like the acting, but I thought it worked for the film. And if you buy it, it comes with a really cool booklet. Kind of gross, but definitely worth having. And another one of these lime green, cool, artistic covers, a film I've talked about before, but I wanted to re-emphasize because I'm looking forward to rewatching this, even though I have a few reservations about it. This is called Godzilla vs. Biollante, which you could still get if you're looking at the flash sale from Barnes & Noble, or if there's another sale in the future. It'd be a good one to pick up there. Diving into delirious realms of imagination, this film, Godzilla franchise's 1980s resurgence, showcased the towering beast for a new generation. It's not the Showa era films there, and there is a genetically mutated plant that grows and becomes quite the monster for Godzilla to fight here. Again, more of this like questions of the ethics of biotechnology and so forth come up, similarly to how they do in Scanners. The only thing I don't love about the film is that I really actually wanted more of the monster than you get. There's painfully less of it than there should be. Outside of that, though, when you do get the fights and so forth, it's really cool, and I do think it has some interesting philosophical questions, and it's also campy and a pretty fun watch. And I do need to check this out again in the 4K, but the cover's terrific, and I have actually not opened this poster before. You all are seeing me open this poster for the first time. Oh my goodness. Look at this thing. Isn't that neat? And it comes with an essay on the back. The poster kind of looks like Magic the Gathering art. But like, that's good. I don't know. Fun science fiction film. I'm really glad that Criterion has adopted this little pet project with these Godzillas, and the disc even look cool. Isn't that neat? Not the necessarily deepest film from the collection that you're ever going to see, but it's pretty good. However, if you want something that's a little bit more serious in tone and nature, a film I'm going to talk about any chance I get on this channel, and a Tarkovsky favorite of mine, this is called Stalker, his final Soviet feature. And the idea is that there are these people that hire what are called stalkers, who take you to this place called the Zone illegally. And the Zone is a place that we find out has a lot of mysterious power, and it can possibly even, reshape time or memory. It's something beyond human understanding. And the film is very philosophical in nature. It is like a visual poem, and it is a very pretty Tarkovsky movie. Whenever I talk about this film, I like to say that I had a hike one time that I took right after I watched Stalker, and all of the rain on the hike and the raindrops really brought me back to this film and to how this film made me feel. It's very connected with nature. And I think the best science fiction films are often connected with nature, whether that's in your mind, like in Scanners, or it's like dug down into the earth, like Godzilla Biollante, or if the nature of nature is being questioned, like Stalker, where you're just right there in all the water and muck, and there's a dog walking around, and it's confusing, and you don't really know how to even process it all. That's the fun of science fiction. Those are my 3 recommendations that I pulled right off the shelf. I think it's more fun when you just look and you say, okay, what are some things that really match this topic? So in the comments, let me know your recommendations for science fiction Criterion Collection films. What are some of your favorites? There are plenty to choose from that I didn't go into. If you liked the film, if you liked this film that I made about films, if you want to click the thumbs up button, that'll help grow the channel. Subscribe if you haven't. I cover lots of Criterion related content on here, and we'll see you next time on Cody in the Cinema.